We'll call the Stanley City Council meeting to order Thursday, March 21st, 2024 at 4 p.m. It's a special meeting. Tax assessment assistance contract.
All right, so Amanda and I met with the county commission on the 19th of March. They proposed the contract that you see before you, and it's in the amount of $15,000, which takes into consideration their time of hours spent, along with those hours spent their benefit package. So to get a fair across the board amount is what they use to come to that number. They were estimating it to be approximately $200 or 200 hours between the two of them. So if you take that 200 hours, multiply it by that $193 an hour that we would have to pay AE2S, or not specifically them, but a contractor to come in. This $15,000 is definitely more than fair. So I would make the motion to approve this contract with Montreal County for the tax equalization work that they're going to be doing.
Okay, is there a second? George? Okay, any other discussion on it? If not,
Kirk,
aye.
Linda,
Aye.
George,
Aye.
Chad.
All right.
Okay, hearing no nays, motion carries. Okay, employment committee.
Okay, employment committee met on last Thursday, which was the 14th, with Amanda in regards to the city assessor position. We discussed this for quite some time, and Amanda has agreed to take on the assessor position along with the rest of her duties that she already has. And so this would, and what we agreed on for the amount was to add $20,000 to her salary, which would come out to $45.04 an hour. After she is certified, we would give her a $1 an hour raise. So then that'd bring her up to $46.04. And I think we can do this all in one. We also decided that she will also no longer be under Public Works, but her own department manager, correct?
Correct.
And she is going to be paid, instead of salary, she will go to an hourly wage. Therefore, if she's got any overtime, it'd be time and a half. So, and this would become effective, what, Monday or April 1st?
That, whichever doesn't, whatever works. April 1st is fine. Yep.
Okay, so with that being said, I would make that a motion to approve Amanda for the city assessor position.
Is there a second?
Chad?
Okay. Motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Marley, I just have a question. So because it is two different positions, am I going to separate these, like certain percentage out of her P&Z fund and a certain percentage out of assessor?
Yep.
Do we want to just do 50-50, or what are we thinking?
I think you could, we should probably start, because we feel that that's like a 30% position, the assessing. So let's just do 60-40 to allow us, would be my recommendation, to allow us some wiggle room in there either way. So that you can keep your funds correct.
Linda, do you
and our
want to add
budget
that to your
close.
motion? That'd be better.
I will add that to my motion as well.
And I'm fine remaining second on it.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? If not,
Kirk?
Aye.
Ty?
Aye.
Linda?
All right,
George?
Aye.
Chad?
All right.
okay, hearing no nays, motion carries. Moving on,
There's a couple of things to add on the employment that just came up.
okay.
In the last 20 minutes. So
All
the
right.
wages that we had decided on with the admin for the clerk of court and the admin for the city / police department, the $42,000 a year qualifies them for food stamps. By doing some homework and some looking at the SNAP program, I would recommend that we raise that wage to $24 an hour. That takes it above it. And it's more in line with everything else that is going on. So that comes to approximately 48,000 annually. Correct?
I think Alen and I discussed it today. What was it? 40, can you give me the numbers, Alen? It was 49.
So at $24 an hour, it'd be 49,920 as an annual salary.
I guess I'd make that a motion to adjust that starting wage. The one thing that it will come with, means it is an admin position, that there would not be a 6-month bump at that. It'd be following the same line as when we hired Brianna as the assessor. We set that rate, and then there was no 1 month or 6-month probationary bump. We're gonna pay that on the front end. Yep, she would just fall into that annual eval.
Okay. Any other discussion on that? Is there a second on that?
I'll second.
Okay. Kirk, second.
Kirk,
Aye.
Ty,
Aye.
Linda,
Aye.
George,
Aye.
Chad.
All right,
Okay, hearing no nays, motion carries. Did you have something?
Sorry, I have one more question on that as well.
Oh, it ain't your turn.
So with this, the 50/50 position, is
Yeah,
that gonna
she
be
listened.
kind of the same case, like take half out of the police budget and half out of the general?
Yep.
Okay, that's what I was assuming, but I wanted to verify.
yep, no, you are correct in assuming that.
Okay, I'm good.
And to answer your question, I don't believe I have anything else. I think
Well,
that,
why did you walk all the way up to the podium then?
In case I bumbled. He's strictly here on employment committee, not
it's
police.
just because it's what I do.
Doesn't make it very good for you, does it, Mary? When they do stuff like that? Okay. Patrick, Rose Engineering.
Hello. Last week we sent across a cost estimate for how much adding in the street and sewer would be to that Fifth Street, those 3 blocks of Fifth Street Southeast. I'm here today just kind of trying to get direction on how you'd like us to proceed. If you'd like us to proceed with just the water line plans, or if we'd like to add in that street and sewer as well.
I guess I've looked at this a little bit, and it makes no sense to do just the water and then tear it all up in a year.
That's my point.
I think that we need to kick this to the street for a bid. It's a smaller project. I still think that we can get that bid this year and
Oh,
accomplished this year.
even saying that, Chad, that's the worst streets we got, really. We have a lot of trouble on those streets.
And we have them funds, I believe, Lynn, that have to be spent in 2024 or assigned to a project, correct? So to stay on the right side of that, this, as long as this comes in, that's something that we can all agree on. I think this is a way to go.
Remember last year when I was talking about these smaller contracts? Patrick remembers. He knows exactly what I'm gonna say too. I was right, wasn't I? You're gonna find more bidders on the smaller contracts. It's because people are trying to work with their core people. Because it's so dang hard to go out and hire people anymore. They're trying to work with their core people on projects. not only does it save them money because they're people that know what they're doing, you know, probably been with them forever. But
There
That-
are more contractors that can handle a job this size than there are that can handle a job that is 14
exactly,
and a half blocks.
But-
And I will say we have had 4 contractors kind of make contact of being interested within this after we initially talked about potentially doing stuff on Fifth Street after that phase 2 bid.
But I think the main reason that we looked at the bigger one is by having a bigger project, you can bring your cost overall.
sometimes, not always. The smaller
Because when we
contractors,
split it, it was more. When we split that into 2,
no, it was
It wasn't-
more the engineer estimate. We never put it out for bid. So the engineer estimate was more, and I can understand where they were more because I would have done the same thing there. But that doesn't mean the number would have been bigger on these contracts. I'm glad it's a small one because I think it opens you up to a lot of really good smaller contractors. So what we need for Patrick on this is to give him some direction where to go. I think we decide that to put it out on the street, and I need a motion to do
No,
that.
no.
If these
What's that?
contractors, are they gonna subcontract the paving and we run into a color paving issue or?
You can't control who they. choose
Right,
as
that's
their
what I'm
sub.
saying is,
Yeah, there's no real way to foresee who their subcontractor is going to be.
exactly, so then we're gonna come back and we got this contractor that's cheap, but he's using color paving, now what?
Well, I
But
think,
that all comes out in
I
the
think
bid
that-
opening, correct?
I think the one thing we do, Kirk, on that is when that paving company comes in, whatever paving company it is, we're on the spot, basically watching what they do. That's the difference in how they do their work. And I mean, if they do it the right way, their paving work is gonna be fine. That's my take on it. What's yours, Patrick?
I think so too. And the team that came out here and did that job that we had some reservations on, that, I mean, that was 14 years ago. It's not going to be the same crew that's out there now. You're looking at different people. At the end of the day, we're going to be out there watching them every day, making sure that this is done right, doing the correct testing, and doing everything that we need to make sure the product looks as good as it did during the first phase.
and after that meeting, I did have about an hour and a half long meeting with the owner of Keller because he was not happy with my comments. So I agreed to visit with him. And, you know, we can sit down and we can put whatever parameters in we want as far as redos, tear ups at their cost. And he said, I'm going to sit and listen because I want to be able to work 60 miles from home instead of 260. So I think the opportunity is there to at least give them a shot at it to see what they can bid. And then we'll sit down and say, here's our requirements. You're gonna, if you want the work, this is how you're gonna stand behind it.
Yeah, and
And
I,
then sign the contract.
that's a good idea. But I mean, I just think you can hold them to doing a good job as long as you're watching their every move. And that's any of these contractors. The key to it is inspections.
And he did allude to something, and Patrick, I'll probably ask you to explain it, but there's an asphalt code out there that the federal uses. And it's softer, it's more pliable, it moves better. It's not near as hard as what the streets you and I live on from paved 25 years ago. We have the ability to say, we don't want that, we want this.
So what Chad's mentioned is that there's different cements, asphalt cements that you put in there. The asphalt cement that we spec during phase 1 that we spec on all our city typical sections is the same we use out on US 2 when we do that or anything else. It is the highway grade standard because that's going to be your best, most cost effective product in the long run. And so Chad had mentioned, he said that that wasn't what was used back then. I guess I am not aware. I'd have to go back and look. And that wasn't what was spec'd at that time, but that would be what we would spec as the same material that we did in phase 1. But this kind of concerns is almost kind of putting the cart before the horse right now, because until we know who the contractor is going to be, what the prices are, right now we're at the stage of should we put together these plans and should we go to bid? And we can sit down and scope and figure out exactly what we want these plans to look like, but there's no need to get hung up on a contractor until we know who it is, what we're doing.
My thing is, we're at the end of March right now. If we don't get these plans out and get them out in a hurry, we aren't going to have the contractors that we would have normally, because their plates are gonna be plumb full.
And so
Then the bids, of course, are sky high.
Right, no, I agree.
Do it.
I was just, you know,
You have a motion.
we had a,
Did you make the motion, Chad? I didn't hear you, I guess.
Sorry, I need to just make a comment. So in that same motion, we'll need to approve task order number 2 and task order number 3 as well.
Okay, so moved.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Do we get, where does this fall in line with the assessment districts and all that? Does that, have to be any movement on that for this?
So I've actually put in 2 calls to our bond council and no one has yet to contact me. So I figured I would follow up again either tomorrow or Monday and,
We just don't need to do it now. is all.
yep, but no, trust me, I'm already checking into it because I need to make sure we have all our bases covered. Because if we have to do a whole new district and do another protest hearing, so I am checking into it. I just haven't gotten a call back yet.
Thank
And
you.
the protest hearing, I guess, regardless if we're required to do one or not, I would like to see one, just because we did change it. We need to allow them people a chance.
Well, and that's
to
not a big
protest.
deal.
So
We
that's
can
easy.
certainly do it, and no one shows up for them anyway, but we can certainly do it.
Call for the
Mary, did you
question.
have a question? Okay. Well, I thought you had raised your hand a little bit ago, so, okay, go ahead.
Kirk,
I,
Ty,
Aye.
Linda,
All right,
George,
Aye.
Chad.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries to put it out on the street. Hearing no nays, so. Thank you,
Move to
Patrick.
adjourn.
second.
Okay,
I do, but that's the end of our.
you know,
agenda anyway,
we could
so-
visit for a while rather than vote on this, and, you know.
Are we closing the
You
meeting?
guys got time.
Are we gonna